was
Forgot to turn the record on, Liney. Got to start over. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Take two.
Take two.
Like just like Van de Ven with the movies. Roll the camera.
I'm a little rusty. Take two. They'll get the gist. Hey, I'm human. What can I say?
Take the safety off the gun.
But yeah, I mean, everything that you learned, everything that you knew about balance, strength, and mobility, like you said, you must have been disappointed.
It was like, are you kidding me? Like, really?
Yeah.
Like I had the latest technology on my feet. I could tell people, right? I had $500 custom orthotics on my feet because I was told that. I was told arches help with your balance and stability. That's what I was taught. I was at orthotic conferences because I used it in my practice. So I said, okay, I'm learning from people a lot smarter than me, so I guess they must know what they're talking about. I mean, and you know what? And what's interesting, Terry, is I never, and I'm saying this in a humbling way, I never challenged my teachers. Okay, I never challenged them. I said, okay, I'm a student, you're the teacher, probably know more than me, I'll listen to you. So I trusted them. I trust a lot of people because I could feel it, but I learned after I met Jay. He said, Kev, don't get upset, because he saw me. I dropped some colorful language at that meeting. He goes, Kev, they only know what they know, and they're teaching you what they know. That's all. That's what a teacher does. And I've taught, right? So I can only teach you what I know from experience.
Makes total sense.
So I give you that now. So now you learn from another teacher, took some other course, going, never got this course before. And then it's like, and it was that moment.
Yeah.
And I look at that moment in time and where it's gone now, and the stories. Like I had 4 separate stories today from people.
Yeah.
Like the best reality show in the world.
For sure.
Fox Live Television is the best reality show in the world.
Yeah. So you have this technology. You were blown away by the lateral and dynamic stability assessment, balance assessment. It sort of blew your mind, and you probably had to have some time to wrap your head around it and figure what just happened here. And so I would guess that you, being in sports therapy and understanding about the importance of balance, strength, range of motion, velocity of force, all these things, by dealing with athletes, you must have taken it back right away and said, oh Lordy, what do we have here? What do we have here?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, how your mindset change went from everything you'd been taught to having a simple pair of socks or insoles that took you to a whole new realm of thought about the human body.
Well, when I finished the meeting with Jay and I got home and I started thinking about where this could go, and it was based on my personal, like I was, it may sound corny, but it's the truth. Like when I walked out of that meeting with Jay, like I was committed, I was in. Yeah. I didn't ask for I tell people, I didn't ask for a white paper. Because I'm sitting in front of the guy, the inventor, and he's telling me his whole story. So I was like in at the beginning. So this is a word I tell all my new people. We've said this before with your story. You got to have unequivocal belief in this technology that it's like whatever you believe in, you have to have that level of commitment. Because you were going to get hit left, right, and center like I did. I got slammed on my first appointment. My very first appointment, I got slammed, and Jay watched me go down in flames. He says, you know what? You got to feel pain, Kev. I says, now you know what I went through. And he was right. Because I was so fired up about this. I said, the world's got it. Because my first appointment was with a guy at a university here in Toronto, and they had an orthotic. I'll never forgot the story because it really amped up my my passion to help, because they looked at the money.
Yeah.
They looked at the money of, they said, how much is your thought? I didn't even, how much is your insulin? I didn't know. Jay, what's their price? I didn't know. Jay, this is their price. And they went, we can't do that. I go, what do you mean? Do you know how much I charge for these orthotics, Kev? Yeah, like $400. Yeah, you know what my price is? I'm telling everyone to call because this will happen. You know what my price is, Kev? No, I don't. Yeah, I have an idea because I took the course. Yeah, it's $40. My price is 40. I sell it for 400. How much do I make, Kev? 360. I'm good at math. I says, your product, my price is 20 and I sell it for 40. I make $20. No, I don't think so. And I said, but look at the difference with the technology. Yeah, but the patient doesn't know that. I was so upset. I walked out of there and Jay goes, good. Now you get it, Kev. Now you know what I'm up against. But my second appointment was with a professional team here in Toronto. And they got it. They got it. I'm looking for the 1%, Kev. We gave them a lot more than 1%. They were, and I just went on a journey. I just knew that demo, Terry, was like, and the science behind it was so tight. Like I was on a call with a doctor in New York a couple of weeks ago. I shared this story. I was on a call with Judy Lee on this. I said, Doc, our science is so tight. It's so tight that you can't, it's on or it's off. That's how tight the science is. And I gave her a very simple analogy. And she got it. And she goes, this is amazing what you guys are doing. Yeah, it's on, wax off.
Yeah.
Homeostasis or it's not. You pick.
Yeah.
And I just, that's what drives me every day.
Well, I think that, when you think about it, like going back, 6 years now, almost since I met you at the office in Toronto before on Drew Road before. Yeah. And seriously, I was going down to see whether you were related to Ron Duguay, who played for the Rangers. Like I didn't care about anything that had to do with
my last name was what it was.
Learning about PEMP, but I'm so grateful to God that I did come down with my sister that day, because not only did I get to meet you and we've become best of friends, and that's to me is a true success about business, is to be able to make friends with people, and that's what we've really created with Vox Life, is a family environment of helping each other, and not only helping the public and the people out there with issues, but helping each other. And I'll never forget Jay, doing the lateral dynamic stability test on me while you sat in the room and giggled and knew I was going to fail miserably. And I was mad. I was ready to drift him one right in the chops because I thought I was athletic, and he was like tipping me over, and then he couldn't move me. In fact, his shoulder popped trying to tip me over. Jay's shoulder popped trying to tip me over. And of course, I thought it was really cool, and I could hardly wait to take some product home and share it with people that I knew, especially athletic people at the time. But I think what really was the sort of the TSN turning point for me of wanting to be involved and having a vision of what this could be, and not necessarily in 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, of what it could be in 10 years, 15 years, to be able to say that I was a small part of building that mountain, a small part of building that acknowledgement and that education to people out there who are, using our product every day as part of their regular household wardrobe. And I think the TSN turning point for me was, Kevin, when we went down to St. Louis. And you and myself and Dan Henson flew down to a football combine. And this was before we even had the company. And we took the 15 best kids at the combine. And some of these kids were already scholarship.
They're already signed. They're signed on D1 rides.
They're all on full rides. But I'll never forget the importance of that lateral and dynamic assessment. Because some of those kids, they had no neck because it just went from their ears to their shoulders with muscles, and they couldn't turn their heads because they had to turn their whole shoulders. And I'm like, this kid's 17 or 18 years old, and he could chew me up and spit me out like a hunk of chewing tobacco. And they were very polite kids. You remember they were calling us sir and everything. I'm like, oh, I don't like sir. I like just Terry. You know what I mean? when the parents were standing there and we talked about the importance of balance strength in football, especially as a lineman. And the parents kind of looked, and we would do the lateral dynamic test, and we'd take these guys that are 250, 260 pounds. I remember that one middle linebacker kid, his cohorts kind of laughed at him, the other kids, because he got tipped over so badly. Yeah,
and then first guy up in that demo, and they're all giving him the gears, and he thought he was going to throw you across the field house.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he laughed and pointed at his opponents there and said, "You guys are all going to get tipped over too. You wait and see." And so, but what was really amazing to me, what really twigged on me from a business standpoint, aside from the philanthropy part of it and being able to help people, that's all wonderful. That's fantastic stuff. But what really, really amazed me is when we put them on the insoles and we tried to move them, and we literally could not move them, and parents got their wallets out right away. I could not believe it. It was like they got their wallets out and they were grabbing for cash and saying, "How much? How much? This is the latest and greatest thing." That to me was a TSN turning point, to think about it as a business from the perspective of, if we could just educate people like we did at the combine, if we could just show them. So the importance for me in the demo is still a key factor. Would you agree with that?
It's I like the people on the call knowing, I mean, I live for I could Vox all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to an event, you just put me, you like, it's an ongoing joke, right? Like, if Kev's there, I'll work, you collect the money, sell the product, sign them up, do whatever you got to do. I'll just Vox all day long. No problem.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful moment, because it's such an amazing emotional connection. And we've talked about this, right? People do things emotionally. They see something and they feel, how do you make, this feels amazing. Like, I cannot believe the difference. I'm going, I know, isn't it amazing? And this is before we met with seniors. This is even before we met with children or people in a wheelchair, or all the different types of neurological inconvenience people we've met, because we were all guys in athletic mode.
Yeah.
You know, guys on steroids, whatever. And we thought this was going to be the way, as they call it, right? And all of a sudden, I never forget the story with Ted Patterson with his client with fibro.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the wheels began to shift, going, hang on a second here. What? Really? Her pain was like down 50% in 2 hours? What? And then it just started going, like, all of us on this call and those that are watching the recording, you have a moment. You have a moment with this tech that go, that was like, Terry, like you said, that's my TSN moment. And when you have a TSN turning point, I always hold on to that. I have a few in my repertoire. We all have some.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people I never forgot that one with my brother.
Yeah.
Like 3 days post neurosurgery. Are you kidding me? They thought I was whacked in the hospital.
Yeah.
What do you like? Hey, your brother just came out of surgery, man. He's got 30 staples on the side of his head. Just let him recover. No, he needs to see this. Like, that's the fanaticism we have, that those of us that are all in, as I call it, that go out. I will talk about this all day long, because I've seen the effect of how it changes people's lives. Like nothing in this world, like Jay said, there's nothing in the world that does this. Nothing. That's an amazing caveat to have. Like,
Absolutely.
so powerful.
So here we are, five plus.
Yeah.
5 years, several months
In a game.
into the business, and we're still pivoting. We're still making new plays. We're still working on the game. We're still getting together like we do tonight, huddle in the puddle. You know, let's talk about it. So here you are. My sister says that we're all very impressed and are very grateful to you. You have so many stories you've accumulated over your Vox Life experience, and not just athletes, which is incredible because your background is athleticism. So how do you make your initial contacts as far as your business is concerned?
Simple. Okay, so I'll give you a perfect example. So one of the things I share with new people if you're going to develop something, you need to invest in yourself. Okay. You need to invest in yourself. Okay. So whether it's like school. Okay. So school for me was back office training calls, ask the doc calls, conferences. And then I got into a coaching program because like all athletes get coached. So there's lots of different options out there because I got to get better. Okay. So let me work on that part of my game. And then it was like, so right now I'm doing a push into LinkedIn. Okay. So I'm connecting with like-minded networks of where my background is. And I asked them a very simple, and this was from my coaching program. Like Jay said, you got like 3 seconds to engage with them.
Yeah.
That's the attention span. So I learned, it's not a long dissertation. I send a direct message about what I have. Are you interested in learning more? I'll make the friends out of the journey. Right now, I need to find people who want to learn about this.
Sure.
Because we've learned that, being the messengers, that's what we are. So how do we get the message out to people that are open to listening, say, I want to learn about this. Okay. So that's one side. Another one is when I meet people, it's hi. Okay. It's like simple. Hello. May I ask you a question? Sure. And then it could go down if I saw somebody that had a physical issue, or depending on the environment, I said, do you have what's your favorite hobby? What's your favorite sport? What do you like to do? And I just engaged in a conversation. It's just simple conversation, right? And I learned, Terry, I've gone through a lot of work on this. I just took my emotions out of it.
Sure.
I just said, you know what? Like I will cold prospect people in line. And people go, that takes a lot of guts. Yeah, I know, but it is what it is. I just got to talk to people and say hello. What brings you here? And sometimes some people just want to talk.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. There are a lot of lonely people. And I don't know. And I've done this. I've cold prospected security guards because they stand on their feet all day long. Sure. So I asked one question. So can I ask you a question? Yeah. How does your body feel at the end of the day when you've been standing for 8 hours? That was my question. She goes, I'm in a lot of pain. I said, if I could show you something that can help with your pain, would you be interested? If not, no big deal. She goes, yeah, here, give me your number. Took my number. I was gone. Like 15 seconds, it was over because there's people coming through the line and I got to go.
Yeah.
But we've had subsequent coffees and now she's looking at the business. Why? Because I asked her a question. How did she feel? How do you feel? Not me. How do you feel at the end of your day? How do you feel when you play? Like, it's about always, we've learned, right? It's about them.
Yeah.
I got to keep it like Lori said, got to keep it simple. People are simple.
Yeah.
That was my talk with my doc in New York.
Keep it at a grade 3 level.
It was a traffic jam in the beach with a neurophysiologist in New York City. She goes, I like that analogy. That's really good. I talk to kids. So I'm learning that the simpler I make it and get right to the point, people know. I said, I have this amazing product. We have this amazing technology. If I could show you how this could help you, would you like to learn more about it? If not, no big deal. Then there's nothing personal to me. They're not saying no to me. They're just saying no to the whatever I'm sharing.
Or they might just be saying no for now. They're not saying no forever.
Exactly it.
Yeah.
But I can't, but I had this on my notes. The only thing I can control is what I do. So if I don't take action, they're not going to come up and talk to me. They won't. People don't do that. So what do? You're going out with the intent to help and they feel it. I had this yesterday with an individual I met. They can feel that you care.
Yeah.
This is unique about us. It's about them first, have their own experience, and then they'll make a decision based on what happens to them. It's like the slide. Triggers a response, affects the body, you feel the difference.
Yeah.
Those 9 words that Jay put out. This is a very powerful slide.
So you would say, so for those that are on here working this business part-time or full-time,
Yeah,
what's a key element is working on yourself, right?
absolutely.
Right. If you're going to run your
Absolutely.
business, work on yourself to always be improving your skills. So that
Yeah.
means showing up to training calls. That means showing up to whether it's the Ask the Doc calls, whether it's conferences, whether it's stuff you do on the side
Yeah.
with other trainers, and there's a lot of them out there. Rank Makers is one of the ones that Jay, had Ray Higdon as a speaker at one of our conferences. So definitely social media and being present on social media. As you said, LinkedIn is very sort of business oriented as well, and being able and confident enough to keep it simple by starting a conversation with somebody, right? So
And
those are 2 to 3 components that we could all get better at. I feel, and so with that in mind, when you're talking to people, would you say that, if you have to strike up a conversation with somebody, that maybe 2 in 10 might ask for information, or you can carry the discussion further? Would you say that's a pretty fair?
yeah, so it could be 30-40% if you it's how you deliver, right?
Sure.
I'm learning. It's in the
Yeah.
delivery of the message that there's something that they hear and they feel in your voice. Like I was talking to a gentleman the other day about this. He said the spoken word has power. It's very different than a text.
Yeah.
Like if we're on a Zoom call, like Carl and I are working on something together, and I've been on Zoom calls and 3-way calls. And when people see you and hear you and feel you, it's all emotional connection again.
Yeah.
And they go, you're not making this up, man.
Yeah.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear the passion. I can hear the energy. Even the skeptics, there's always going to be skeptics.
Sure.
I've learned in my life with these, the skeptics, Tara, they just been wounded, man.
Sure.
They've just been wounded, and they got to be loved back to life. So
I agree, yeah.
who better than all of us that had a story going, let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you about my husband. So do I have a skeptic story? Yep. I just got one today. I got one today from Emma in the UK. I was on a 3-way call with her and this friend, and oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. She did it. She left a testimony now. She left a testimony. But it's that way that you treat people, that they feel valued,
Yeah.
and they feel cared for, and they feel respected. And this in the medical world, for me, I call it bedside manner. How I treat people is the way I would want to be treated. So I'm an empathetic person. That's who I am. I've been that my whole life.
Yeah.
So I live it out. I'm able to live it out with this company in a technology that helps people in the most profound ways.
Emotionally and physically.
It's right. It transforms lives. So as we grow, all of us on this call, as we grow in our confidence, because confidence, I remember when I first started, who came on my appointments? Jay. Why? There was nobody else.
Sure. Yeah.
Nobody else. Jay, can you come? Kev, line them up. I'll come with you. I'll be your backup support. And then you get to the point where, okay, you got your wings, fly, go. And all of us on here, as we've developed our wings, like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. I use that analogy. You got to struggle, man. You got to work. It's in the struggle that we develop that fortitude, that you become, I use that term, right? You become bulletproof. Like, I'm not afraid to talk to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not. Because I've seen so much in 7 years, Terry.
Yeah.
And I leverage it, right? I learned from, when Dr. Thatcher tells us that we are 100 years ahead of Western neurology, that is permanently burned in my brain when I talk to doctors.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to leverage Dr. Thatcher, Dr. DeBrincat, Dr. Baldino, Dr. Meyer, Dr. Vedan, Dr. Drake, Dr. Van Onselen, Dr. Wolf. Why? They're part of my team. And this is the teamwork side again. I'm not a doctor, but I said, I have this team over here with these amazing people. And I got, all of us on the call. We all have different strengths and different gifts. And together we're building an amazing army. This is what we're building. We're building an amazing Vox Life army.
Yeah.
And so it takes time.
Takes time,
But
sure.
I said-
And I love the part you said about, self-improvement and getting better at your craft. I mean, there isn't an athlete in the world that doesn't continue to work at their skills. Lawyers, doctors, they all work at their craft to get better at it.
Ongoing.
And we
Right.
should, continue to work at our craft and learn how to get better. And if that means, taking a course or doing whatever, just believe that you're worth it. So let's talk a little bit about sort of the Kevin Duguay daily method of operation. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time now. How many hours a week? What does your week look like? Let's just the ballpark. How many hours a week do you put into the Vox Life? Now, I know, because I know you do, it's 24/7. I get it, right?
Well,
It's everything we talk about.
I
It's
dream
everything.
about it when I sleep, but
Yeah, I get that. But I mean, with intent, because we do a
Yeah.
lot of things with Vox without intent. Things just come up and we do it. But for those that may be just starting and new people that are here, and trying to build a team and build a customer base and so on with our new brand champion program and everything. But for you, what does your what does your day look like as far as running your business in Vox Life? What's your sort of method of operation that you have, or does it vary and fluctuate based on the curveballs that are thrown at you and the demands that maybe people put on you? So let's just sort of walk through a Kevin Duguay day in the life of Vox Life.
Well, there's several parts. Okay. So first of all, I look after, I exercise every day. That's one thing I do.
Okay.
I make sure I exercise every day. Okay. I've got to look after myself. That's one part. I make sure I get my at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. I don't cheat sleep. I said, if I'm not good, I can't do the other stuff.
Yeah.
So there's that part, and when I focus on my business day, there are things I work on every day. Like I spend time, and I put into 15-minute blocks.
Okay.
Okay. I learned that everybody can do something in 15 minutes. So it was about blocking time. I learned this in the coaching program. I've learned this from other business entrepreneurs, because to tell people you need to give me an hour, people just get, no, I don't have an hour.
Yeah.
15 minutes, I can carve it out. So I time block. Okay. I time block. So there's 15 minutes. I have a LinkedIn. I'm reaching out. I'm doing follow-up on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm going back through my phone, looking at all previous contacts. I'm even using part of these 15-minute blocks through the day of when I come across articles that I see on the internet, actually cold prospect people as well. I've got a few, a post would come up, like an ad would come up on Facebook because I'm in these different sports groups. And I connect with somebody because they're in the same field that we in.
Sure.
So there's cold prospecting, there's warm prospecting, there's reading. So on average, it's anywhere between 3 to 5, 6 hours a day. But I tell people, just start with one. Just start with an hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
Build this as part of your life. And then, there's team calls that we're on. Sometimes I make some road trips here and there. They gate changes, but I focus on every day. I focus on my LinkedIn account in reaching out to new people, because as I connect with them, it opens up other networks to reach out, because I've learned I'm a messenger. Very few people know about this technology. So I'm trying to find a way to engage with new people to get that out in that area. So
Sure.
that's the main part of my day.
So if you could give one business tip about this technology to share it with people.
Yeah.
If somebody that's just started and they're like, where do I find prospects? Where can I talk to people? What can I do?
Sure.
What would what advice would you give them to get started of sharing the technology?
Find a platform. Yep, great question. So what I learned, my platform that I have chosen to focus on now is LinkedIn. I've been building it for a long time. So now I'm looking for, so I said, I'm taking that aspect of social media, whatever social media that you like. I tell people there's lots out there, right? I was on a conference, so I said, pick one and work at it. Find people that are very good at it. Watch what they're doing. I have a very simple statement that I put in my direct message when I reach out to new people. That's all I do. It's a 3-sentence reach out. And for those that wanted to do more, I'm happy to share it. You send me a thing. I'll text you. I'll text you what I say. And you try and say, Kev, why? Because the simpler I make it of why I'm connecting with you.
Yeah.
Because it's about, are you open to learning about something about this? That's all it is. Because I have to get to that discussion. I have to get to this. I have to get to an engagement, Terry.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do now.
And I think it's not being afraid to reach out to that person too, Kev, because a prime example is, Riona Kelly and Keith Mason and their story on LinkedIn. That was a simple reach out where I just said, hey, if I could show you something, I don't know what you're struggling with, but I can see you're struggling. If I could show you something that might possibly help with your quality of life, would you be open to hearing more? Literally got back in less than 30 seconds. She was online, looked at it right away. So I think reaching out and doing that is very important, and it's a key point, as you said. And I was taught a system a long time ago called the 10-4-1 system, and I've trained on it before about utilizing social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's LinkedIn, and doing within a week, doing 10 posts a week that just talk about you. You have to build the brand of you, because people want to trust you. We all love to do things with people or business with people that we trust. And so building a relationship and building your brand, I think, is key. Would you agree with that? Of the brand? And it's not always about pushing product. It's about building the brand of Kevin Duguay.
Terry, you bring up such a valuable point, because I've learned that people buy you.
Yeah.
There's something that connects between you and the person in front of you that, we talk about energy and frequency, and you resonate with somebody and you get along with them, and it's like your best friend. I said, this is always going to be the same way in life,
Yeah.
And so for me, my strength is the spoken word. I live to, if it's more than 3 sentences on a text, I'm calling you. People know that now.
Yeah.
Gav's going to call me. Why? Because I went to the 3rd sentence, and sure enough, the phone goes, Dugay's calling me. Why? Because it's more, for me, it's how I work.
You're just a terrible typer on those small keys.
Oh yeah, I know, right? It is what it is. French and English messes it up on the spell check. But right. That's how I resonate. I've been like that my whole life, right? Yeah. So I said, okay, if this is how I roll, how do I get better in what gift I have? I can't do Canva. We got some artistic people on this call. Great. Thank God they're on this team. I'm going to use what
you can screenshot everything. It's awesome.
That's right. We have some very talented people on this team. It's like in sports, we all have different strengths. We leverage each other's strengths. My strength is speaking this right here. I see it when I go out in public. I see it when I'm at conferences or I'm at events.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to focus in. Do I need to work on other parts of my game? Yes. And that's a challenge. Do I get everything right? Absolutely not. Are my days perfectly routined out? No, it's hard.
Yeah. That daily method of operation is hard to stay on track, because
life comes in.
Yeah.
Right? Life comes in. But there are key things that I will not miss. And I've made those better decisions, and I'm getting better every day or every month. And I look back and what was I doing to move my business forward?
Yeah.
What was it? Personal and team.
Yeah.
And it's not hard, but where do you draw the gap, right? Because you got to grow yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you can be better for your team as an individual.
Yeah.
on both sides. So it's
So
a never ending.
would it be fair to say that as a new associate, as a starting point, consistent, you know, social media, if you can use social media, can be consistent on 1, 2, maybe 3 platforms if you can, with
Yeah.
your life, your brand. What do? Do you love horses? Do you love, baking? Do you love whatever? And then throw in something that what I would call, so 10 posts a week that basically build the brand of Kevin Duguay, 4 posts a week that are sort of business oriented, like, oh my gosh, I just walked 10K today, and I'm so glad I got these amazing insoles with this haptic coating pattern that helps me be more balanced and stable, just something like that. And then maybe, so that's 4 posts a week like that, and then one power post. So 10-4-1, one power post might be a testimonial.
Yeah.
Somebody that has an amazing,
you
and
can
be
use that.
consistent at that.
You can use that line. Like what I've done now is I've gone Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
I made a decision just over a year and 3 weeks ago from Rank Makers that I said, you know what? I like to talk. So what's the best platform for me? I got to go live.
Yeah.
So I've gone live for 390 days or whatever the heck it is now, whatever. I said, I'm making commitment to do this.
Yeah.
Where it goes, it's opened up some doors, and I can share in those 7 lives different topics that tie in about me, and also in coupled directly about what I'm doing.
Sure.
But it just, they're getting to know who is this guy.
Yeah.
It's getting your name, getting your face, getting your name out there.
Giving something, putting content out there that's of value, that
people. Yeah. And
people
you're right. It's
right.
value. What do you bring that's going to help somebody with what you have learned?
Sure.
As a teacher.
And your story, I mean, what is more important than your story about what the technology has done for you? It doesn't have to be profound, it just has to be yours. Right. It has to be real.
Yeah.
Right. I think I mean, I've heard you tell your story a lot of times, and what this tech has done for you and what it's done for quality of life for you. And that's an important component that I think sometimes we lose track of as associates, because we're so focused on, trying to sell something as opposed to trying to educate.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's the teacher in me, right? So I've seen now how this has percolated into my entire family.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start like that.
No, mine either.
We all of us on this call going, yeah, how hard it is to talk to my family about this. My family thought I had lost it.
Yeah.
They thought it had gone off the deep end.
Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
And I didn't waver. I didn't listen to the naysayers.
No.
I didn't. I said, you don't know what I know.
Yeah.
You weren't there. And so this is what allowed me to keep going forward with the same energy like the same energy I have now, Terry. I had it 7 years ago when I talk about this. There's let me tell you about Vox Life. It's a pretty amazing company, and it helps you. I don't talk like that when I talk with people.
Yeah.
They feel going, what is it? Let me show you.
And I think these types of calls, Kev, that we're planning on sort of pivoting a bit and hearing from other associates, I think they're going to be great, because we have some amazing people in Vox Life that are sharing this technology. We have so many wonderful people, and it's really kind of exciting for me to see the growth of people, because my memory's not short. And I remember starting back, and even my beloved sister, to see the growth in my sister. And those of you that don't know her story, it's an amazing story, and to see where Vox Life has allowed her to go with her own ability, and all of us with the growth that we've been able to do in this is really an incredible story. And I tip my hat to all the people that are on this call, all the people that have you know, hold on to the rope. You know, the commercial where you don't let go of the rope, and it was for, you know, chocolate chip cookies or something. If you let go of the rope, you're going to be lost or whatever. There's so many amazing people that have kept holding on to the rope. And I think it's just amazing that we have such a blue ocean product. We have such a unique product that, because it's ahead of its time, it makes it a little more difficult, right? And would you say that if somebody could work towards finding 1 or 2 people a day to share this with, or ask them the question, if I could show you something that would improve the functionality of your life?
You're right. Because everywhere you go, right, there's somebody that's, I don't care if you go to a grocery store.
Yeah.
Like at Costco, when I'm at the teller, if I'm paying for my food or whatever, I have at least 90 seconds with that person to talk.
Yeah.
I just ask. Because I am out representing what we're trying to build. So I'm going to
And
talk.
I think the longer you're in this tech, the more those that have a gate issue, a balance issue, a pain issue, the more it becomes visible. Don't you find, Kev, that the more you notice it and recognize it when you're out and about, the more you are involved in walks and the technology, and read some of the stories in the testimonials group, and have people in your own circles that, you know, have maybe had some success with the technology. The more you notice when you're out and about, those that seem to be suffering, you can see it in their faces. You can see it. I can remember, you know, when I was in another company that was, you know, basically a weight loss type company, that, you know, all of a sudden I never noticed people that were overweight before. I really never dawned on me. And when I got in that company, all of a sudden everybody looked overweight to me. You know, all of a sudden it seemed like everybody was a prospect, but I never thought about it before. Now I even see in Vox Life, I can see people with gait issues. I can see people wince when they turn, or they, you know, you tend to notice that stuff. And you know, it's not always easy to go up to somebody and cold prospect and say, geez, I saw you wincing there. Your suffering is, you know, do you mind me asking, what are you dealing with? You know, it's not always easy to do that, but I've had some of my best leads that way.
Yep.
Right.
And again, Terry, I think, you know, when the intent, when I reach out to somebody, it's to what? It's to help them.
Sure.
I got to start. I'm always starting there first. So I bring my patches with me all the time. Why? Because you never know who you're going to come across when you're out walking in the park.
Cowboy never leaves without his 6-shooter on his hip, right?
I'm not going to bring a gun. I could get in trouble carrying a 6-shooter around, but I'll carry a 6-pack of patches.
Exactly.
And it's like, you know what? And they go, what do you got? I said, this is what I do. Are you open to looking at something? I can do it. I can help you right now if you want. If not, no big deal. So the fact that we actually this is not the norm, right?
Yeah.
This is not the norm of Canadians to be quiet and like outgoing and they're supposed to be shy. And it's like, you're helping me. Yeah, man, listen, this is what I do. This is my business.
Yeah.
This is who I am. I've been helping people my whole life. So yeah, I leverage my story sometimes. And this is another thing for new people on this call. I go, you're gonna surround yourself with like-minded people and say, and I was gonna talk about this, you know, we talk about the Zoom calls and 3-way phone calls. I've done it with numerous people on this call here. Why? Yeah. It's like leveraging each other's strengths.
Absolutely. And I think that's really imperative, Kev, as us as a team, regardless of how, you know, big or how small we are. It doesn't matter. We like a hockey team. You know, a left winger may not be the goal scorer, but he's a strong player in the corner, and we need a good corner man. We need a good guy at the face-off to be able to win the draws. You know, we need a good center to help protect the quarterback after the snap. Everybody's got a part to play, and everybody can offer. And I really think I'm really happy with this first call, and I hope the field here is got some value out of this call tonight, because I don't think there's ever a time that, you know, we've had a guest or an associate on here where we haven't got some value into this. And I really think that we can do a better job as a Vox Life team to share our successes. And so I'm going to be reaching out to people. Did everybody enjoy? I mean, just thinking of time, guys, we're at 9:30. We're at the
Gotta have
hour.
a cut because I'll go in overtime. That's not good. That's
I know, but
dangerous.
I'm the coach, and I'm gonna
I know, I'm benched. You're
But
benched, Duguay. You're
I
benched.
hope everybody enjoyed this call tonight. I mean, there's so much that I've taken away from this call tonight, Kev, as well. And you know, life gets in the way sometimes. And please, I don't want anybody to feel that, you know, you got to perform for anybody other than yourself. You're answerable to you, you know. And if you're willing to learn, there's tons of people here that are here to help you. And so I'm going to be reaching out to different people, and we're going to put you in the spotlight, and we're going to get you to bring something to the table that will help the field and help us all do a better job at presenting this technology. And I certainly, Kev, want to thank you tonight for being, you know, you've never had a problem stepping up to the plate, being first, that's for sure. And that's, I guess, what the first associate in Vox Life gets pinned with. So sorry, bud, but that's just the way it goes. So anyway,
It's all right. Sometimes it's good to be first in a good way, as opposed to first one to the vice principal's office. Oh gosh, here we go
yeah,
again.
and
Oh my
I
gosh,
want
not
to
good.
remind everybody that, you know, next Monday is the Real People, Real Results call, which Kevin is also the co-host with the wonderful Krista Taylor, which is a great call. So do what you can. Use these tools to leverage and get people on these calls. Tomorrow night at 9:00, we have our opportunity call. And I do believe that the wonderful Patty Grass is going to be hosting the call tomorrow night. So bravo, Patty. I know that she's on this call for stepping up and working with Jay to be the first associate to step up and do the opportunity call. And I would ask all of us to make a concerted effort to get at least one guest on this call tomorrow night. Do what you can to get one guest. I don't even care whether it's your dog. Make your dog sit in front of the screen. I don't care. And I know the only one that could probably make their dog sit there long enough would be Heather Lemke. So Louis is the only dog that's the most obedient dog I've ever seen. But it takes some good treats for that dog to do things. But anyways, I just want to thank you, Kev, on behalf of the field for being such a wonderful leader. You know, we appreciate everything you do so much, and you're always there for people. And if we could all, you know, take a little slice of your pie and apply it to our business, I think we'd all see an improvement in how we operate things and go forward. And so next week we have our Real People, Real Results tomorrow. That's at 8:30. The post will be in the team page. We also have our opportunity call with Pat Grass, as I said, tomorrow night. And hey, our bronze, silver, and gold buying values are back in the back office now to purchase. So for those of you doing shows and so on, it's a great way to continue to leverage your business and to grow it and to get people involved. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. If you did, when the post is up, I'd appreciate a comment in the recorded post in the team page, so that we can spread the word on how we're going to do and continue on our team training with associates in the spotlight. So thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and it's great to be back. And I look forward to helping anyone that needs help to the best of my ability as well. We'll talk to you all soon. God bless.
See ya.